You are now entering into the second interpretive area of the historic village, skipping over 2 decades and arriving in the year 1904, shortly after a spur line of the T&P Railroad has passed through this fictional community. Imagine that you are now at a time when the arrival of the railroad has brought the village firmly into the 20th century. Although handcrafted industry like the local blacksmith shop was still important to rural Texans, the railroad led to enhanced trade and communication with the entire nation, making resources from around the country available in once remote West Texas. By 1904, West Texas had all the makings of a vibrant and important region. Residents and visitors alike felt that the area had an unlimited potential for future growth and development. Central to this growth was the arrival of the railroad. By 1904, traffic on the T&P line gave West Texas unprecedented access to national markets. Shortly thereafter, spur lines began to link the rest of the region. This enhanced transportation net linked a predominantly rural region to a nation that was becoming increasingly urbanized and industrialized. The beginning of the new century also meant changes in the way Americans had done things. Doctors, lawyers, and others who advocated scientific or progressive ideals began to establish their identity as professionals and began to be considered as such. The United States had become an imperial nation with its victory in the Spanish-American War of 1898, adding territories in the Caribbean and the Pacific to the national fold, and was in fact in the middle of fighting a Muslim insurgency in the Philippines. These national trends, combined with the arrival of millions of immigrants from places new to the American melting pot, places like Italy, Greece, Russia, the Balkans, Eastern Europe, and Armenia, meant that national political issues would be very different in the new century. The old white Anglo-Saxon hegemony had to make room for Catholics, Jews, and people who spoke a variety of new languages and followed a wide array of new customs. This new reality required a new way of thinking. Intellectuals and civic activists now contemplated how to make their home, their community, and ultimately the world a safer, more orderly, and more peaceful place to live. Not everyone was happy with the accelerating pace of things, and this conservatism and reaction manifested itself in a wide variety of ways, including fundamentalist religious revivals and new Protestant sects, an upsurge in nativism and anti-immigration movements, and even a hardening of attitudes regarding race and ethnicity. Many, if not most, of the people alive in 1904 could still remember wilder days of cowboys and buffalo, Indian raids, and brutal retaliation. To some, these were the good old days, and they tended to gloss over these more painful episodes and focused instead on the more romantic notions of the times through which their parents had lived. Others recognized it as a time before real civilization and looked forward to a day when society and all the peoples of the world would harmonize in a tidy, orderly, scientific, and efficient manner, with the United States leading the way. With every sunset, more and more of the real frontier was disappearing, as civilization progressed toward an imagined future, and actual memories of the rugged past softened into an almost mythical bygone era.